feet along this fence was a watchtower guarded by Nazis with machine guns and searchlights. And that fence was isolating the Jews. It was called the Ghetto of Lodz, and it was isolating Jews from the rest of the world. Just a few months later, on May 1st, 1940, they locked up the ghetto hermetically. There was no radio, no newspaper, no mail, nothing. We had no idea what was going on outside. Before the ghetto was locked up, many of the Jews from Lodz, which numbered 350,000 before the war, escaped to the Russian part of Poland. The Russians did not kill Jews. Among those people who escaped was my older sister, Fela. She was 3 years older than I was, and she escaped with a few of her girlfriends. But she settled in the city of Lvov, L-W-O-W. And once the ghetto was locked up, that girl on the left is my sister, and those are my parents. Once the ghetto was locked up, we had no communication with Fela. But after the war, I met a lady who escaped from the city of Lodz, from the city of Lvov. 2 years after Hitler signed the non-aggression pact with Stalin, he broke that non-aggression pact in 1941 against the advice of his top generals and politicians. He just wouldn't listen to them. So he told them not to do it because he would not be able to supply the front lines in those brutal Russian winters of 50, 60 below zero and 5 and 6 feet of snow. Napoleon tried it in 1812 and failed miserably. But Hitler was under the influence of amphetamines. His judgment was impaired. He did not listen to his advisors, and he attacked the Soviet Union. That was one of the biggest mistakes that he has made. He attacked the Soviet Union and took over the eastern part of Poland, which was occupied by the Russians. And I met that lady after the war who told me what happened in the city of Lvov. After the Nazis occupied it, they built a ghetto there, like in Lodz, barbed wire, watchtowers, machine guns, and so forth. And there were 110,000 Jewish people in that ghetto in Lvov, including my sister. One day the Nazis came with machine guns, and in 3 days they murdered all 110,000 Jews in the ghetto of Lvov. And I have never seen Fela again. She was a brilliant girl. At the age of 17, she developed a new language, one of her girlfriends. They would spell the words backwards and communicate with each other as fluently as we do normally, but nobody could understand what they were talking about. Move this up again. Next.